Hello, hello. It's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to my 12 Days of Christmas Day 5 video series. I have videos every day from December 1st through the 12th to correspond with the gifts. So I'm going to reveal the gift and then create a project using it. Are you guys ready to see what is in gift number 5? All of the gifts are not Christmas related. They're just in a Christmas wrapping, in a Christmas gift box. So the gift that is in this package, oh, it's so exciting, is the Take Your Pick tool. This is a must-have for every crafter. Let me open this up and show you what it's like. I think I was using it actually in a video the other day. So the Take Your Pick tool. Yeah. Hi, Maria. So the Take Your Pick tool is this. It has a couple different ends. There's an extra putty refill. So that screws out and you can replace it in. It just screws back in place. And when you pull this off, this is putty for picking up loose objects, and I'll show you how that works today. The other side has two ends. One of them is a little spatula, which is really great for picking up embellishments like rhinestones, getting underneath them. Also, getting underneath stamps. If you have the cling labels, you can lift that up using this attachment. Really easy there. And then if you unlock this and pull it out, the other side has a paper piercing needle, and so you can lock that in the other way and use the same cap to cover that end. So the other end, we have the spatula and the needle, or the other attachment that's available is a stylus. Oops, everything's falling out now. So the stylus also locks into place. So we have a small end and a larger end. That would be for scoring your cardstock. I honestly don't use that one as often as I use the other two. And there's an additional attachment that doesn't come with the Take Your Pick tool. I thought I had it, but I couldn't find it, so I ordered another one. This is not part of the 12 Days of Christmas gift box, but you can get both the Take Your Pick tool and this Take Your Pick die brush set in my online store at juliedavison.com. So here is what the die brush set comes with. We have two little spongy mats and one little tip that is the die brush. So you might be thinking, what would you use this for? First of all, let me show you where it goes. We're going to unscrew the putty and we're going to screw this on the larger end of the Take Your Pick tool. And so the die brush is for detailed dies such as this one. So when you die cut it, before you remove the paper, you can use the brush to brush out and poke out all those little loose bits. So this isn't, we have a lot more detailed dies. This is not as detailed as they come, but the die brush is really handy for that. And you get two sponge mats because as you use it a lot, you'll find that it gets kind of torn up. So there is one to use with, to start with, and then a second one as a backup. So that's a separate attachment that also works with the Take Your Pick tool. I love that this tool has so many purposes. Now, this is the only thing in the 12 Days of Christmas gift box that is not consumable. And so if you got the 12 Days of Christmas gift box and you already have a Take Your Pick tool, then I hope that you will give it to a stamping crafty friend and share it. If you really have no other options and you don't want it and you've received the 12 Days of Christmas gift box, please contact me and I will figure something out and we'll take care of it. I want you to be very happy with your gifts. And like I said, this is the only one that is not a consumable item that's in the kit. So I just wanted to put that out there. Are you ready to get started? I'm going to put this one away since it is brand new, and I'm going to get out my trusty Take Your Pick tool. I've had this one for a while. It's well broken in, and I have to say I'm still working on the same putty tip. Maybe I just don't use it as often as I should. Well, I did promise you this week that I would be doing some sneak peeks, and so I showed you a few things already. Did you notice the little crab? And also this new die set. The Seize the Day bundle is one that I got in my Demonstrator pre-order for the January through June Stampin' Up! Mini Catalog pre-order. I'm really excited to play with this one, especially because I think it goes really well with the Whale Done stamp set. I think you can kind of mix and match those things there. I love the style. I love the dynamic dies. And so we're going to create a card using the dies and the Seize the Day stamp set. And you know it goes really well with this Seize the Day stamp set? The Whale of a Time sequins, which are retired but are now in the clearance rack. Let me give a little close up there so you can see some of those gorgeous colors in there. You can get the Whale of a Time sequins in the clearance rack. Normally they were $6.50, and now they're $2.60. What a deal! Special thank you to Bonnie down the street and my husband for running down to get her sequins. I thought I still had the Whale of a Time sequins, but I could not find them, and so Bonnie saved the day so I could show them to you today. Stampin' Up! Just updated the clearance rack. And you can go shopping in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop to get retired favorites like the Whale of a Time sequins and many more things that are up to 60% off. So these go really well. If you're thinking about getting this Seize the Day, make sure you've got some Whale of a Time sequins. Let's get started on our card today. I'm kind of making this up as I go because that's just sort of my MO. I have used a thick basic white cardstock base, and then I've pre-cut this piece from the Evening Evergreen, and I was really kind of I was kind of stuck, and I wasn't sure what color to use here because I was thinking blue for the ocean, but it has seaweed and coral, and to me that felt very like dark green. So I went with the dark green, although I think you could do this in a dark blue and it would be really pretty as well, maybe even like a navy. And I paired a little designer paper back there. This is from the 2021 to 2023 in color designer paper. And I had it out because I used it on the last two cards that I made. And so it was still on my desk and I thought, yeah, we'll use this one too. So we're going to build our scene with the designer paper in the background and some of these fun little critters from the Seize the Day stamp set. And since we're using the Evening Evergreen and a soft succulent, I thought we could just get out the same in colors that we've been using. So that's going to be polished pink and pale papaya, some fresh freesia, and then we'll get out the ink pads just in case. I think maybe the words we might want to use Evening Evergreen. And actually, I was wondering, there is like another seaweed image here, and I was thinking about stamping it. I might add that. I just thought it might add a little more like dynamic to have the seaweed stamped at the bottom here. So let's try that and see what that looks like. Let's get my grid paper. I'm going to stamp over the edge. So I'm using soft succulent ink on the soft succulent designer paper, and I'm just gonna do maybe one more over here too. Like I just want to add and give that like some depth and dimension. And I think if we put this on with some Stampin' Dimensionals, that will help us get that dimension that we want. I think that's really pretty to add that in there. So I'm going to have the seaweed on the bottom, and then we need some basic white cardstock to stamp our other little critters. So I'm thinking, oh gosh, I don't know. I was thinking pink for the crab because that just makes me think of crabs, right? Pink. Kathy says, when can we order? This set is on your wish list. Okay, so the mini catalog that I am using, the January through June, will start for customers in January, on January 4th. But if you're a demonstrator, then you can get this right now on the Demonstrator pre-order. You can order everything from the mini catalog. I just got my copy of the mini catalog in the mail yesterday, and so if you are a demonstrator, you should be receiving your copy from Stampin' Up! Very soon. And if you're not a demonstrator, you should think about it. Well, one of the perks of joining right now in December is that you can choose mini catalog products in your starter kit. So right now, if you join my team, you can get the Seize the Day bundle and the Wheel of a Time sequins if you want, and the Take Your Pick tool and all the things I'm using in your starter kit. You can choose $125 in product of your choice for only $99 plus tax. It's such an amazing deal. I have no idea what color jellyfish are and fish are, but I think this is going to work out okay. In our sequins here, we've got some blues and pinks, and I see like some purple in there too. So I think it's all going to come together. I would like to do this sentiment. I love that it's like tall instead of long. So I'm going to use the, you know what? No, it's not in the, I was going to say, one of my favorite punches is, was in a clearance rack. And I think it already, what was that? Did that come from my punch? It seemed like a little piece of metal. That startled me for a second. The Everyday Label Punch. I don't think it's in a clearance rack anymore. I think it's sold out. If it didn't sell out, you better go get it right now. No, it was the Timeless Label Punch. The Timeless Label Punch I love so much. I'm using the Label Me Fancy Punch, which has a similar shape. I think that's going to work. And then there are dies to coordinate with these other images. So we're going to get out our die cutting machine and die cut. We've got the fish, and there are some detail die cuts with some additional seaweed as well if you wanted to die cut instead of stamp that. So let's get out our little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I've affectionately named her Lucy. Do you give names to your tools at home? Lucy is a name I considered for my daughters, my human daughters, but never, I never did have a Lucy. And so I loved the name so much that when I had another little baby, I decided I would call her Lucy. So let's get these lined up. Now, if you have problems getting your dies to stay put, I recommend using some washi tape or like a Post-it note to hold them in place as you send them through. I just try to kind of push down and hold it in place. Hopefully I didn't have any shifting. If you've been thinking about the big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you can get that in your Demonstrator starter kit too, which is kind of awesome. One more pass through the die cutting machine for our jellyfish, and I better get out this bowl. Carmen sent me this amazing magnetic bowl for my dies, so I don't want to lose any dies at all. Thank you again, Carmen, for that amazing gift. So thoughtful of you. And let's send this one through. Now, do you guys have the Wheel of a Time or Wheel Done stamp set? This is one that is still current in the annual catalog, and it has a coordinating punch for the whale. And I always just, I loved the designer paper, and I always loved the image. I just think they're so playful. Let me grab that really quick and show you what that one looks like. I think they have a similar style, and I think you could really mix and match those quite well. There is another little jellyfish in there, so you could have a pair of jellyfish. Maybe the scale isn't right. Obviously, the whale is a lot bigger than the turtle, but I think that they're going to work nicely together. Okay, so we don't want to lose that one. Let's get our card layer together. I've got my pieces here. We're going to add the designer paper with some seal. And then we're going to put the early espresso piece on top with Stampin' Dimensionals just to add a little more depth to our scene. I still haven't had a chance to play with a lot of my pre-order items yet, so you're seeing things as I'm creating them. If you want some more sneak peeks, be sure to check out the entire playlist of 12 Days of Christmas because I have been sharing sneak peeks the last several days and sharing some of the new products that I'm excited about, and I will continue to do so over the next 7 days. We have 1 week left of the 12 days of Christmas. I can't believe it's already December 5th. All right, I love how this is coming together. We're going to add some of these elements. And what happened to our tag? Here it is. I love that the fish are going in opposite directions. Is this fun? Oh, I want to make that be a little more center stage, I think. Let's add some Stampin' Dimensionals under the tag. Oh yeah, I love that. This one's going to go down with regular adhesive and kind of tuck back behind the tag a little bit. I love like all the layers that creates. this little crowd just cracks me up. I'm going to put that on with another dimensional, again, just to add like some different depths here. And yeah, we're going to do this one with some regular adhesive. You could also use a glue dot to stick this on. And this one also with some regular adhesive, but it's going to go down on the lower level. Oh, it's so cute! So the only thing we need to finish this off is some sequins. You know what? Actually, I think we need to add some more fishies and stuff inside too. Let's do some stamping and stamp some fish. Oh no. I should have done this first, because what I'm finding is that there's like this depth behind there and I'm getting a ring. I'll have to see if I can cover or get that with my ink eraser later. Let's do one more on the inside. One jellyfish. And I feel like it needs I just can't stop. Let's do a little. Seaweed in the corner. Oh, I love that it continues on the inside. I always try to do the inside of my card and give it some interest and love inside. All right, I'm going to break out the multi-purpose liquid glue to add my sequins. And there are so many colors here, so I just have to decide kind of where I want them to be. Now, I'm going to use a lot of sequins. Usually I do like 3s or odds, so I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do like 7. So I'm going to add dots kind of where I want them to go. 3 over there, maybe 2 up here. That is 3, 6, 7, 8. Uh-oh. that was more than 7, wasn't it? So one more right there. Now I'll use that take your pick tool. I love that we have this putty tip, so we can pick up the loose sequins just like this, and we can add them to our project and put them exactly where we want them to go. Oops, stay down there. My phone ringing. Oh my goodness. Okay. I feel like this is so hard to do on camera. Here we go. I think we need a pink shell. I'm going to add that up here. I love that pinky color. I have a little adhesive eraser that I can use to go back for all the places where my glue has smeared. If you don't have one of those, they are really great, an awesome little stocking stuffer, and I highly recommend them. Okay, one more. Let's do a dark blue down here. Oh my goodness. All right, well, that's gonna dry and I gotta go wash my hands. I love these Wheel of a Time sequins. If you don't have them yet, make sure to grab them from the clearance rack. And for the perfect placement, you can use your Take Your Pick tool. Whether you're using the Seize the Day stamp set from the upcoming January through June catalog or Whale Done, I think you'll enjoy using the Wheel of a Time sequence. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Be sure to come back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time for another 12 days of Christmas video and another sneak peek. Have a great day and happy stamping!